Mr. Zico John, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Marcia Show. Janine Butcher, welcome. Theirry Gittens, welcome. I am seeing Daniel Boyce here. Welcome, Daniel. Don Leacock, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am not seeing my very good friend Brandon as yet. I think he's going to join us soon. Welcome to the Marcia Week show, everybody. How are we doing? Can't hear. I can't hear.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
One of the loyal opposition, Miss Eats is always a pleasure to be here. So thanks for inviting me. It's the
Okay, speak a little louder. For some reason, I'm not hearing.
You're not hearing me. Can you guys hear me well now?
Yes, much better.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
go ahead.
Good night to the loyal opposition, as I was stating. Miss Weeks is always a pleasure to be here, and good night to the panelists as well. Look forward to tonight's conversation with you.
Yes, so that is Miss Janine Butcher. And she is the rose among the thorn or the thorn among the roses. No, we can't do that. These are not roses. These are strong young men. Strong. All right. And beside her is Zico John. Zico,
Yes, yes. Good night, viewers. Good night, viewers. How are we doing tonight? I'm looking forward tonight. I'm excited about tonight. This show has been awesome so far. So good night, panelists. And let's get into this.
Wonderful. And coming down the line there, we see Mr. Don Leacock.
Good night, Marcia. Good night, loyal opposition. Glad everybody's here tonight to have another constructive conversation.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And beside him is Mr. Daniel Boyce.
Hey, good night, everyone. Marcia,
Run the Rasta man in the place. Pure lightning and fire, fire burn. Pure fire, you want to call on fire tonight.
I hope so. Good to see everyone.
Fire.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, good night, good night, Daniel. And we have Mr. Theirry Gittens.
Hey, good night, everyone. Good night to the loyal opposition. To the
I see. We gotta hear you. Come on, man. Give us your speaking voice. You know when you get on a platform or you get the people around them. So don't come in. Don't talk like no rose tonight. Talk like a strong thorn.
You can hear me properly?
Yes, I can hear you in your speaking voice.
I was saying good night to everyone. To the loyal opposition, the people of Barbados, and the wider diaspora.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. It's good to have you. And I'm just waiting for let me just double check here for Mr. Brandon. Okay, Brandon, that's our problem. Okay, here you go, Brandon. Brandon, you didn't get the link? That's what it is. Okay. All right, Brandon, you have the link there. Come on in. Now, folks, I want us to go straight into this topic of the wiretapping. And, you know, what is great is that we've had some discussions over the last two shows about this issue, and we've been educating the people, the viewers on this, and we've had time to read through the document, etc. And so let's kind of set the stage, and just so that we understand what this is all about. Let me go to Don. Don, can you explain what this new, in your opinion, as a young person, so this is your views tonight, this wireless communication bill, what is it actually allowing the government to do in terms of wiretapping?
Well, essentially, it's allowing the government to intercept otherwise private conversations. There's still a lot of talk about whether WhatsApp would be included in this. I personally don't believe that any WhatsApp messages or calls would be included in this legislation. I'd find it hard to believe that Facebook, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg himself would sign off on something like that. Flow and Digicel will definitely have to comply with the Barbados laws. So any calls you place with your Flow Digicel, I definitely think those would be included. But I think you should still be okay on WhatsApp.
That's
There
why.
are quite a few. Pardon?
Well, we're going to discuss a couple methods that we're seeing that the government can use, not through WhatsApp itself, not demanding that, but we're going to get into that, and we can always debate that a little later. But that's your interpretation of it, that they're going to be able to intercept our communication.
I think the worst part of it for me was just them admitting that the police have been doing it for years, illegally, and they're not going to be any repercussions. There's not going to be any sanctions for that. And their justification for legalizing it now is that, oh, well, the police been doing it illegally anyway, so we may as well legally do it now. I just think that is very callous and disrespectful to the people of Barbados. It is happening in quite a few other jurisdictions. America is famous for it.
Right. Before we go on, but you hold it there, because we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that. Let me bring in a couple of the others. Zico, why should ordinary law-abiding Barbadians care about this? Is this something, or even young people, should they care about this? That otherwise private conversations might be, they will now have the legal right to listen in to private conversations. Should ordinary law-abiding Barbadians care about this? Zico?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I believe that all law-abiding citizens should be paying attention to this. This is a very important matter. When I first heard it, initially, I thought, well, it's okay, we're gonna fight against crime. I just looked at it very callously and just like, all right, cool. This is means to crack down on certain criminal organizations. But then you really go into the nitty-gritty of it and see how it was used, especially in other countries before, and see how it was manipulated and used maliciously. We understand. We begin to understand that this is very, 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 very serious and can be very dangerous, especially when it comes down to the average citizen.
And so, Janine, is this something you think Barbadians should be concerned about?
Most definitely, as Dawn was saying,
law-abiding Barbadians who are they're not involved in crime. Why? And if you think so, why should they?
Right, so most certainly, yeah, law-abiding citizens should be concerned about it, because I think that in Barbados we only really react to things once it then happens to us. So everybody should be concerned about something like this. As Dawn was even saying about how Mr. Abrams would have mentioned that it's happening. That was one of my biggest concerns. It was happening, so just legalize it and let us put safeguards in place. But also when it came to the cybercrime bill, you didn't want to put these same safeguards in place then. So you only do it for one thing and not the next. I think that is an overreach. It's a direct erosion of trust between the public and the state. And we are normally not getting democracy in this country, so why would we trust them now?
Well, I mean, when we look at the history of wiretapping in Barbados, and Don started to allude to it. I mean, there's a case there that I was reading about this evening, where I mean that particular case became very public, where there was a police, Mr. Bowen, who was he was alleging that the commissioner of police at the time, Darwin Dutton, that his allegation was that he was wiretapped by him. And that was something public where and it is believed that could have been part of why some people believe that he was forced to retire because of those allegations. when you actually think about that, do you think that Daniel, that Barbadians should be concerned? Daniel Boyce,
Yeah, I mean, I do believe they should be concerned.
can you speak up a little louder?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. So you keep that same
Right, sorry.
volume. Thanks.
Yes, I was saying I do think that they should be concerned. Recently, the administration seems to be using like Trojan horses almost to oppress poor people. I mean, it's not just with this bill. We're going to find ways to fine and oppress poor people with tint. We've seen it with freedom of speech online. So to me, it's par for the course. It's not really surprising. It seems as though this is a tactic that they're using to take away control from ordinary citizens. So it's not a surprise. It's depressing and disappointing, but I'm not surprised by the tactic.
Yeah. Theirry, are you aware? I don't know if you were watching the lawyer Corey Greenidge. He was talking about yesterday. He was educating us on particular sections in the bill, right? Are you aware that there might be provisions in the bill that allow the government to tap phones or intercept messages without a warrant? And if so, what are your thoughts about that? Theirry?
Hey, you can hear me clearly?
Yes.
I think, given my position, and I'm in the best position to speak about what I'm about to speak about, I have not been totally necessarily paying attention to it, because I said, well, we're tapping, like Zico said, something good for the to track criminals, that type of stuff. So in terms of the show, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but when you sent it to me in terms of the actual acts, I was then made aware of it. So what would I say about that? Is it right? No. Is wiretapping necessary? I believe yes, but in this current form of the bill, I don't agree with it. That's as much as I can say right now.
Yes. Yeah, fair enough. Don, did you have any chance, Don, to look at that particular section that this is Corey Greenidge he spoke about last night, this particular section of the bill that was not mentioned actually by the Attorney General in Parliament or any of his colleagues, but it's in the bill. What are your thoughts on it? Did you get any chance to look at it?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it right now. I did read through the entire bill. Which section you were referring to specifically? This one right here?
52B.
52B. Ain't gonna be so close. 52B. Right. That's so good. I get what you mean. In the interest of national security. So that's just a very broad, vague term that they could use to intercept the organizers of this show, for example. I'm sure Mia Motley and the rest of the clones in there would really agree that this show is quote unquote against the interests of national security. This show brings to light many discrepancies and flaws that this government have. And they, as the government, might think that this show and any other similar programs are against national security. So that broad, vague language like national security is definitely a problem.
Yeah. Now, the thing here, though, Daniel, in addition to that, because that's one of the things that we looked at when we were looking at the cybercrime bill, Don, and you were one of those that went to Washington to represent Barbados. So I know you would pick up on these vague terms in the bill, like safeguarding the economic well-being of the state. Daniel, that is another area of concern. Do you see it as an area of concern, Daniel Boyce, and why, or why not?
No, I definitely see it as an area of concern. Like Don said, the language is just far too vague. So to me, it leaves too much room for them to manipulate the law and act in their own self-interest, which to me would only be to the detriment of national Barbadians, right? So to me, the verbiage needs to be a lot more specific in how they're gonna enact the law, and how they're gonna basically conduct their surveillance. This vague language to me is dangerous.
And the thing about this, Janine, is that it is in this section of the bill that does not require an initial. It doesn't require you to have a warrant to do the actual surveillance or interception. You can determine they could get a warrant afterwards, but they don't need a warrant. These are the particular areas. If Dave, can you bring up the Chat GPT section for me again? Because what I did, I went and I put this document in Chat GPT and ask it for sections allowing warrantless interception. Right? Janine, do you think that for something this serious where your privacy will be taken, that there should be a warrant? They should go to the the CJ and get a warrant to conduct this, the Chief Justice?
Yes, well, I would think that the surveillance power should be mostly aimed at persons, like if it's the specific credible threat. Obviously, it wouldn't go so far as saying it should be for or get a warrant for that. But if ordinary people are just going about their daily lives, yes, you should get a warrant for that, for those persons.
Get a warrant for that. Well, these are the sections allowing warrantless interception. Those same vague sections that Don spoke about and that Danielle spoke about. Remember, these are vague. Those vague sections, and those are the areas where you do not need a warrant to conduct the tapping. It could be authorized by an authorized officer without a warrant. Section 5.2 states that the exceptions to the general prohibition on interception, which normally requires a judge-issued warrant, these include situations where, so there are situations where you need a judge-issued warrant, except these. The communication is intercepted by an authorized officer in the interest of national security, for the prevention or detection of specified serious offenses, the protecting the economic well-being of the state, for fulfilling the international mutual assistance agreements. These scenarios allow wiretapping without a warrant, bypassing judicial oversight entirely. And this is taken from the BarbadosParliament.com. There's also another issue here with with oral warrants. Section 9 allows a judge to issue a warrant based on an oral request, bypassing the standard written application and affidavit requirement, though this is still technically a form of judicial approval. However, this shortcut mechanism could still be misused, especially when justified under broad terms like national security, and leads to less transparency. So, Zico,
Yeah.
Are you okay with not having a warrant not being issued in these circumstances? I see Brandon is there. I'm allowing him to get to relax a bit, and then we Zico.
Yeah, I think this is a huge overreach on the government's part, especially when it comes to the oral warrants. We know how this could be manipulated. We know how this could be used in the favor of the government. I think this could also be used when you use words such as national security, or even words such as criminal activity. That's also very vague as well. How serious is these criminal offenses? Is it minor? What would you consider to be an offense, or what would you consider to be national security? Understand? And then saying that an oral warrant by saying somebody tell me that I could come and tap this phone, so and then afterwards going back up, and I just think that is very, very I just think it's a huge overreach on the government's part.